The Mystery of the Vanishing Masterpiece. There was a hushed silence at the prestigious Belladonna Art Museum, as the museum's wealthiest patrons were gathered for an unveiling of a new masterpiece, a recently discovered Rembrandt painting. The painting, titled The Reckoning, was believed to be Rembrandt's last and had been found in the attic in an old Dutch house. The museum's curator, Mr. Wesley Harper, unveiled the painting with great pomp and show. But as the heavy velvet curtain fell away, the audience gasped in disbelief. The frame was there, but the painting was missing. Harper stared at the empty frame in shock before raising an alarm. The police were called immediately. The museum had security measures, and the painting had been locked away securely for only an hour. Detective Alexandria Miles arrived on the scene. She was known for her analytical mind and attention to detail. After getting a brief overview of the situation, she got to work. Miles questioned the museum staff, but no one seemed to have any clue about the disappearance. She inspected the sealed room where the painting had been stored. The lock was untouched. No sign of forced entry. Checking the museum's CCTV footage, she found no evidence of the painting leaving the room, yet it was nowhere to be found. After thoroughly searching the room, Miles found a tiny piece of canvas wedged in the corner. On it was a minute dab of paint, a lead at last. She questioned Harper about the authenticity check. Harper had hired Dr. Elsa Vandermeer, a renowned Dutch art historian who had flown down to authenticate the painting. Dr. Vandermeer had been the last person to see the painting before it was locked away. Miles decided to pay a visit to Dr. Vandermeer's hotel room. On arriving, she noticed a small painting set and various pigments on the table. There was a tiny canvas similar to the one that she had found in the museum. When questioned, Dr. Vandermeer admitted to recreating a small portion of the Rembrandt for her study, but she vehemently denied any involvement in the painting's disappearance. On Miles' request, she showed her the recreated piece, which was a perfect match for the fragment found at the museum. It was compelling evidence, but Miles wasn't convinced that Dr. Vandermeer was the culprit. She decided to dig deeper. Miles revisited the CCTV footage and noticed that the curator, Harper, was the one who moved the painting to the locked room, contradicting his initial statement. When confronted, Harper confessed that he lied, but insisted that he only moved the painting to secure its safety. Despite his confession, Miles wasn't convinced that Harper was guilty either. Something else was at play here. Intrigued, Miles re-examined the empty frame at the museum. She ran her fingers over the top of the edges, and she felt a slight unevenness. The frame had been tampered with. She quickly ordered the frame to be disassembled and made a startling discovery. Behind the front panel, rolled up, was the missing Rembrandt painting. Suddenly it all clicked. Miles realized that the painting was never stolen. It was cleverly hidden, creating the illusion of a high-profile theft. But who would have benefited from this? The insurance claim would have been substantial, but the museum hadn't insured the painting yet. So the motive wasn't financial. Then it hit her. It was about reputation and prestige. Returning to the museum, Miles confronted Harper, the only one with enough knowledge about the frame and the ability to execute such a plan. His motive? To secure his career. Facing increased pressure from the board, Harper had been at risk at losing his job. A high-profile mystery solved by him would have undoubtedly secured his position. Presented with the evidence and reasoning, Harper crumbled and confessed. His plan was to find the painting before the insurance was bought and become the hero in the process. He hadn't anticipated Miles' involvement and expertise. In the end, the masterpiece was returned to its rightful place, and Harper was escorted away by the police. The evening ended not with the marveling of a masterpiece, but with solving of a cunningly crafted mystery, courtesy of Detective Alexandria Miles.